Hello, my name is Kiriath, and today we're going to have a little chat about a couple of things. I don't know why I've done like the official intro to that, because it's going to be a rambling mess, just like everything else on this channel. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. There's an announcement, and I also want to basically just say a thank you and let you know where I am in terms of the mental health issues that I talked about a month ago now, 3 weeks ago, a month ago. I'm not sure how long ago it was, but we'll cover that in a second. For those of you who don't want to kind of have to have that sort of someone being very blunt and honest about things like intrusive thoughts and dealing with them and such, if you're not in a good enough place yourself to be able to listen to that kind of thing, then by all means, I'll do the announcement and then you can go. It's fine. I'm not going to tell you need to sit there and listen to it. I know it's incredibly uncomfortable for a lot of people to hear, and I absolutely do not judge you for that at all. If you're not in a place to be able to hear it, then don't hear it. Simple as that. So, announcement first. There's a new channel, my new channel. I've made a second channel called Long Road Miniatures. There's a link in the description and in the pinned comment. The first proper video is up on that channel covering, there we go, these lads. So these weird Ambot creations that I think I've mentioned them before. I think just on the community page, like the community tab of the channel. There's a video up there explaining how I made them and the parts I used. As to why I've done a second channel for painting, kit bashing, converting, basically, I really enjoy making those videos, but there's a couple of things that make them difficult to make when it comes to hosting them on this channel. Primarily, they don't really get as much in the way of views or attention as other videos I make, which is absolutely fine. I'm not suggesting that you need to watch everything I do, not at all. But it can be frustrating when you sit down and you film something and then you do the voiceover and edit it down and cut bits out, and it takes longer to make those videos than anything else, and then the channel is effectively punished for it. So what will happen is I will upload a video on painting or converting, and YouTube will then wreck the next 3 uploads. It will say, okay, well, not enough people watched that last one, so we're not going to push the new stuff that you've made. We're not going to actually put stuff on sub feeds or put them in recommended or anything like that. You just, it just tanks the channel for a good 3 to 4 days afterwards. And given that it's already kind of more of a passion project thing than anything else, it's incredibly disheartening and frustrating to put it up and think, well, it's not going to do well, but I enjoyed it, for it to then have a fully negative effect on the channel for a while afterwards. So that's why I've made a second channel. Essentially, what the channel is going to be is it's a lot less of me and a lot more of experimenting with stuff and kit bashing stuff and converting stuff and painting stuff. And if it works, then it'll go on there as a video. If it doesn't work, it'll go up there as a video, because the only way to learn to get better is to make mistakes and to just keep painting and keep trying new things effectively. So that's what it's for. That is where it is. That's why it exists. I'm hoping to get 1 video up a week, and we'll just see how it goes. So if that sounds interesting to you, then as I say, it's in the description, in a pinned comment. That's why it's there, and that's why I'm not putting those videos on this channel, because it just wrecks it, and then it just makes it frustrating and irritating to do, which is kind of against the whole point of it in the first place. In terms of update health-wise, the main thing I wanted to say is thank you for being so supportive and so patient. I've had not the best time of it over the last few weeks. The video that I made talking about what was going on, I'd mentioned intrusive thoughts largely centered around suicide. It's something that I have no intention of going through with or approaching in any way at all. But that was one of the things that made it as frustrating and tiring as it was. It was like a constant argument with myself. Things that I didn't want to think were just constantly popping into my head, all largely centered around not being here anymore. And it's, when I say it is physically exhausting to put up with that for a couple of weeks, literally 24 hours a day, unless I was drowning it out with multiple other things at a time, it's kind of an understatement. There just wasn't anything left over to do anything or to enjoy anything. It kind of sucked the life out of everything I like doing. Luckily, it has eased off. I had assistance from the local authority in terms of like the NHS and stuff. I was on a watch list for a week or so, just to check in once a day and make sure that I hadn't done any of the things that I'd been not wanting to think about but thinking about anyway. I've also mentioned before seeing a therapist, which I am still. So it is starting to get better. It's nowhere near as frequent. I had a really nice 3-day stretch where I just had nothing. It was blissfully quiet. It was so good. Unfortunately, that ended yesterday when it came back again. But it is improving. It is getting there. And your patience and support is meant a huge amount. I know that uploads on the channel have been super infrequent. I think last week I put up 2 videos, which I really don't like missing that many uploads. I hate it, to be honest, but just one of those things. There's nothing that can be really done. All I can do is do as much as I can, and for the most part, what I was focusing on is things things that I absolutely need to do, like looking after my kids, looking after my daughters, and making sure that they're still okay, and trying as best as I can not to let it kind of bleed through into ways that it could affect them and stuff. And yeah, it's mostly just, it's getting better, but thank you for being so patient. Thank you for being so supportive. I know I haven't responded very much in the comments recently, but believe me when I say I have noticed how many of you have said things like, I hope you're doing okay, or I hope you're doing better. It genuinely has made a massive difference. So yeah, not better yet, getting there, kind of not quite out of the woods, but it's improving. And I mean, I'm still keeping on. At the very least, much though it might sound incredibly callous, and I realise that a lot of my humour is very gallows and very self-deprecating, but when I say at least I'm still here, it's only half a joke. I am still here. I am carrying on, and it is getting better. It's just taking some time. But yeah, I'm hoping that as we carry on, and as hopefully therapy starts again soon, in a truly 2020 twist, I've not been able to see my therapist for a couple of weeks due to them not being well. So, I mean, it's just this year, isn't it, basically? I think it's probably the cause of all ills at the moment, but yeah, hopefully continue to make progress and continue to get better, and things will be a bit brighter next year. Wouldn't be difficult, would it? So yeah, that's where we are. That's where we're at, and I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on, and say thank you. So, new channel, new place for me to try new things and do something a bit different to what we do here. And yeah, I think actually that's helped quite a bit, setting that up and having a plan for what to do there, and kind of charting out different projects and stuff. That's been very helpful. I have to admit as well, something that's helped a huge amount is these daft night things, which you'll be able to see in detail if you go and watch that video. I can't help myself, I'm sorry. But making these mental night things out of ambots and various bits out of my bits box has effectively been a second form of therapy for me recently. There's a lot to be said for, even if you're building something that isn't for anything and you don't know what you're going to do with them, there is something to be said for just kind of allowing not forcing yourself to use your imagination, but just letting something take you and see where it goes. That has made a significant impact over the last couple of weeks. I think it's been genuinely beneficial to actually sit down and just do something for the hell of it. Even though at the time I was like, this is kind of a waste of parts. Is there any real reason to doing this? And I mean, I think, to be honest, the real reason was that I needed to do it. So I'm glad that I did. That has definitely helped a lot. And once I got these finished, as you can see in the background there, I've got a bunch of Caradron Overlords to build. Well, I say a bunch. There's 7 and 3 ships, but still, it counts. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I will leave you alone. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you again for supporting as much as you have. It does mean a huge amount, and hopefully next time we have one of these chats, it'll be because it's all stopped and things are as normal as they can be. That's the aim, anyway.